I was last in Women's Refuge 4 years ago. Leaving someone where they've got some sort of financial control over you or where you're financially dependent on them, that makes things very, very difficult. I had nowhere to go. I didn't have any family support. I didn't have money. I didn't have possessions. I literally had nothing.
You know, we've got one of the highest rates of domestic violence in the world. It's something that's really important to New Zealanders and something that's incumbent on all of us to do what we can to help support. Well, we sat down with Women's Refuge to try and understand what sort of barriers that victims of domestic violence tend to face.
One of the things that we've noticed for some women, particularly women who have to leave in a hurry from their homes and can't go back, is that they don't often have the ID necessary with them to go and open a bank account. Now, you can't get into a house without having a bank account. You can't get onto a benefit without having a bank account. No one hands over cash anymore. So what we needed to do was to make it easier for women to get bank accounts opened, that if they didn't have the right ID.
I can completely understand how the idea of not being financially independent is horrifically scary, and anything that we can do to help someone who's in a dangerous relationship feel more comfortable about that independence and how they might move forward, I think is really, really important. The first step we decided to take was to accept referrals from Women's Refuge. When someone opens a bank account, there are certain documentation we require by law, but what we can do in this case is be just a little bit more flexible about when we require that documentation, so we can help the women set themselves up when they might have left home without the documentation you might usually have available to you, and give them a bit of a pause before we require that normal bureaucracy.
It was actually really cool. They just made it happen.
What ANZ is doing, I haven't heard of a bank doing anything like that before. It's extremely important, not just for the money side of things, but the mental and emotional thing that comes with that, knowing that you can support yourself. I have the confidence to go through life, and I'm living my dreams and I'm not letting anyone stop me.